Thank you guys. Make some noise. Who's ready for the return of Tony Abbott? Yeah, wrong room. Shit, wrong room. No, but have people heard this? There's this rumor that Tony Abbott could return not as a frontbencher, but because Malcolm Turnbull doesn't really have control over the party room, even if he wins the election, his own party could roll him and just bring Abbott back in as the PM again. And I say if that happens, we just fast forward straight to civil war, right? Just go home, sharpen a broom handle, grab a knife from the kitchen. Everyone just take to the streets, kill anyone who doesn't agree with you. Whoever wins gets to keep the country, right? If your political system allows Tony Abbott to be elected and then to return unelected, it's time to reboot, guys. It's just time to start from scratch. And I saw Tony Abbott once live in the flesh, right? This was a few years ago. This was before Tony Abbott was actually the PM. He was just a regular minister, but still a very high-ranking racist. And I was in the Treasury Gardens next to Parliament House here in Melbourne. It was late at night. I was in the Treasury Gardens, and suddenly Tony Abbott just walked past me, just like this close, just walked past me with two of his staff. And I thought to myself, no, Tony Abbott doesn't just walk past me. I'm gonna do something, right? My first instinct was to just run up to him and go, hey, Tony, yeah, I'm a gay refugee, my boyfriend's having an abortion, what do you think of that? Boom, punch in the face. Fade into the shadows. Just Batman style, vengeance, disappear into the night, right? I thought, no, that's ridiculous. You can't just assault a politician like that, I'll get arrested. And I thought, that's fine, that's cool, you know? I'm smart, I'm a political comedian. I'll use my words. I'll use my words to cut into his soul. Yeah, this guy's not gonna sleep tonight. So I thought about what I was gonna say to Tony Abbott. I kept thinking and thinking and thinking. And when I finally finished thinking, I looked up, and at that point, Tony Abbott was about 500 meters away. I still said it. Yeah, I said it. I said, yeah. Go fuck yourself, Abbott. Yeah, don't turn around, keep walking. And Tony Abbott didn't turn around, and Tony Abbott did keep walking, because at that distance, it's completely impossible for him to hear anything I was saying. Other people heard me, though. Other people in the park heard me, but all they saw was a lonely brown man standing in the bushes screaming to himself. They were petrified. I am Muslim, and I'm happy to tell you there are now 6 anti-Islam parties running in this federal election. 6. Kind of flattering. Don't hate us because we're beautiful. And if I had to pick my favorite anti-Islam party, it's difficult, but there is one that has a special place in my heart. Toby mentioned them earlier, Rise Up Australia. Most of you know Rise Up Australia is a mix between sort of hard right nationalists and evangelical Christians, best of both worlds. The cookies and cream of Australian politics. And you may know that the leader of Rise Up Australia is a priest, a self-appointed pastor named Danny Nalia. And when Rise Up Australia first emerged as a political party, Danny Nalia got on television to explain what one of their main policy platforms was. And one of their main policy platforms was banning the burqa, banning the face veil in Australia. And I thought, oh yeah, it's not very original, until I heard his explanation, which was quite amazing. Danny Nalia, a priest, got on television and said, we need to ban the burqa in this country because when you see someone in a face veil, how do you know if that really is a Muslim woman or if that is a pedophile in disguise who could go into public toilets and molest children? And I got a little bit upset, but then I thought about it and I realized he's kind of right. Because when you see someone in a face veil, how do you know? How do you know if that really is a Muslim woman or if that is a child molester in disguise who could secretly abuse children? But then I thought to myself, Danny Nally is a priest. How do we know he's not secretly molesting children? Because I think you have to agree. You have to agree, ladies and gentlemen. There are many, 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 many more documented cases throughout human history of priests molesting children than there are of pedophiles disguised as Muslim women molesting children. I'm guessing. Haven't done any concrete research. It's just a hunch. My family and friends are kind of worried about me now because I'm engaging in a ritual act of self-harm called Q&A. Why do we watch Q&A? Why does anyone watch Q&A? You never feel good afterwards. You've never watched an episode of Q&A and afterwards gone, that was a refreshing discussion across a range of time. No, never. You want to kill someone. I never understood the way my friends watch sport until I started watching Q&A, because that's what I start screaming at the television. What is this? What is this? Tony Jones is a bad referee. What are you doing, Tony? Where's the follow-up question? This is bullshit. And Q&A annoys me because, one, it's not really a debate, right? Like, it's politicians pretending to disagree but mainly agreeing. And also, every now and then, often, people get away with saying ridiculous shit, right? Recently, there was an episode of Q&A. There was a situation in Australia where 250, 260 asylum seekers were fighting to stay in Australia. The government was trying to deport them back to Nauru. And someone in the Q&A audience asked a question about this. And the Labor MP on the panel had a very quick answer. She said, look, this is a very difficult situation. Unfortunately, the current policy settings don't allow these people to stay in Australia. I said, what? Policy settings? What the fuck is policy settings? Why are you trying to act like this is something that's totally beyond your control? Oh, it's the policy setting. Like, Australia is just like some kind of old machine, and 200 years ago someone set it to extremely racist, and now we can't fix it. What the fuck do you mean by policy settings? That's better than I'm not racist, but you can use that for anything. Oh yeah, no, we'd really like to treat asylum seekers like human beings, but the policy settings mean we have to put them on concentration camps offshore, yeah. Oh no, we'd love to have a mosque in our neighborhood, but the policy settings mean it has to get firebombed every couple of weeks. No, it is sad that Aboriginal people die in this country 10 to 20 years earlier than the rest of the population, but those are the policy settings, sorry. That got heavy pretty quickly, I know, that was darker. But man, I still haven't gotten over Adam Goodes. I still haven't gotten over how Adam Goodes' career ended. That was terrible, that was horrific, wasn't it? Right, even after he quit, these fucking cockroaches just would not leave him alone, right? For a 2.5 second dance that he did, the outrage, the absolute outrage. White people are like, oh, Adam Goodes with his invisible spear. Oh, he threw it, and it hurt my invisible white feelings. Oh, and then I just had to cry my invisible white tears all over the internet for the next 3 weeks. Oh. And I got upset, but then I thought about it. I thought, you know what? This makes sense, right? It does make sense, right? Because white people have never had to survive racism or genocide or colonialism. So I understand sometimes it's difficult for white people to prioritize their problems in a realistic way, right? There's no perspective. So I decided to do a bit of community outreach to fix this. What I did was I drove around random white neighborhoods and I threw real spears at white people. And it worked. They realized that after having a real spear thrown at you, invisible spear is not so bad. I really enjoyed watching Bill Shorten recently on that one-on-one Q&A that he did. He ended up talking about treaty and invasion. And he thought he was pretty slick, Bill. He thought he was pretty slick until he got backed into a corner. And I didn't realize that when Bill Shorten gets backed into a corner, he just acts like a total brat, right? He just acts like a child. So someone asked him a question about, constitutional recognition, and Bill was like, yeah, man, I'm totally down with constitutional recognition. And then he just stepped a little bit too far. He was like, and you know what? After that, if people want to keep talking, I'll keep talking. I'm a cool guy. And Tony Jones said, So do you mean like about a treaty? And Bill Shorten, I'm not exaggerating what Bill Shorten did. Bill Shorten said, yeah. And then Tony Jones said, really? And Bill Shorten said, yes, Tony, yes. I said yes. How many times do you want me to say it? Treaty, love it. Want to marry it. And then he got asked if Australia was invaded. Did he consider British settlement of Australia an invasion? And Bill tried to be slick again. He was like, oh, I tell you what, if I was an Aboriginal person, I'd think so. And then Tony Jones said, yeah, but what if you were you? And Bill was very slick. Bill was like, well, my ancestors were convicts, so I'm a victim like anyone else, really. And you know that was a bad thing to say, because the next day, Barnaby Joyce repeated it. And Matt mentioned Barnaby Joyce. Barnaby Joyce is like his own Richter scale, right? Like a universally acknowledged measurement of when something has gone terribly wrong, right? Barnaby Joyce came out the next day and he was like, yeah, right, convicts. How can that be an invasion? You can only have an invasion if there's a military. Who the fuck do you think brought the convicts, Barnaby? They didn't teleport out of the Starship Enterprise. I'll wrap up, guys. All right, you guys have been a fantastic audience, by the way. So I'll do a bit that, yeah, sure, clap for yourselves. Who am I to stop you? We're fucking amazing. I'll do a bit that I don't normally do. But I think you guys are cool. You're on board. It's a tricky topic, but it's been 20 years, and it still weighs heavily on my heart, guys. It's 2016, and I think we do still need to talk about Alanis Morissette's 1996 single, Ironic. Now, look, I know over the years a lot of people have made fun of this song. We all know that nothing in Alanis Morissette's song, Ironic, is technically ironic, okay? We know this song is just a list of, like, weird luck and strange coincidences, right? But if you listen to Alanis Morissette's song, Ironic, right, all of the scenarios in the song are technically possible, right? They're technically, like it could rain on your wedding day, there could be a black fly in your Chardonnay, there could be a no smoking sign on your cigarette break. All of these things are possible. But there is one line in this song that is so ridiculous, it has haunted me for 20 years. And this is the line where Alanis Morissette says, it's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife. And if I ever meet Alanis Morissette, my only question to her will be, Alanis Morissette, what fucking life situation could you possibly be in where you needed one knife but you only had immediate access to 10,000 spoons? And in 20 years, I've only been able to come up with one possible scenario, and this is it. You are having a picnic next to a spoon factory. And as you unpack your picnic basket, and you take out your cheese and your bread and your plate and your rug, you go, oh shit, I forgot my knife. And at that exact moment, there is an explosion at the spoon factory, and 10,000 spoons come raining down on you as you shake your head and say, isn't this ironic? You guys have been great. Thank you very much.
Visit wheelercentre.com for the best in books, writing and ideas from Melbourne, Australia and the world.